Welcome to Daily Action Picks. My name is Anthony Dabbundo, and I have two best bets for the 17-game jam-packed Tuesday night slate in Major League Baseball. Let's start at 6:40 p.m. in the American League Central as the Guardians take on the White Sox. It's Dallas Keuchel and Shane Bieber, both former Cy Young winners. Bieber's market respect is built off of his American League Cy Young in 2020. It's why he's so projected highly by the market and why they think he's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. But I'm not quite buying that. I know he pitched to a 1.63 ERA that year, but what has he really done since to deserve that? 2021, he had a 3.03 FIP. Good numbers, but remember, that was before the crackdown on sticky stuff. He did not really pitch in the second half of the season after that because of injury. He came back this year. His velocity is down about 2 miles an hour. His spin rate is down significantly, especially on his curveball, which is his best pitch. He's generated just a 24% called strike plus whiff percentage through 2 starts. That is alarmingly low for a guy who was typically around 40-ish in the last few years when he was dominating with his best pitch, the curveball. So I'm not quite buying into Bieber. I think the market is overrating him thus far this season, and I think the market's just showing him way too much respect. I know he's pitched relatively well in those 2 games, but again, stuff plus indicators are down on him. His velocity, his spin rate, all of that suggests he's due to get hit in the future if he continues to pitch the way he's pitched. I'm also not high on Dallas Keuchel. Over a 6 xERA last year, one of the worst starting pitchers in all of baseball. Not a good matchup for anybody in baseball right now. It just doesn't have the stuff or the velocity to really consistently get outs and be consistent anymore. So I'm projecting a lot of runs in this game, over 7.5. I know the conditions are not great for run scoring, but I'm fading both pitchers and taking the over 7.5 runs at minus 115 or better. Second game of the night, 9:40. Rangers and Mariners. It's John Gray for Texas against Robbie Ray, nice rhyme, for Seattle. And I'm pretty high on John Gray. He's made some improvements to some of his pitches. He's altered his pitch mix a little bit, getting more movement on some of his breaking pitches. And he left Coors Field. That's a big boon for any pitcher to get out of hitter's paradise in Colorado. Now he's in Texas. He had a pretty good first start before blisters hampered him, and I'm overall pretty high on him. One pitcher I am not a fan of, Robbie Ray. He won the American League Cy Young last year. I'm selling now. His velo dip is significant. He's down about 2.5 miles an hour relative to where he was pitching last season. His FIP, xERA, and xFIP were all about a half run higher than his ERA from last season. He is due for some negative regression. 3.69 FIP, 3.6 ERA, not particularly impressive and not that much better than where you're projecting John Gray to be this year. So you got a fairly even pitching matchup, and I do not expect Ray to continue to strand 90% of runners like he did last season. That will regress. Ray will regress, and for that reason, I'm taking Texas at plus 130. So to recap, I like Texas plus 130, and I like over 7.5 in the Guardians-White Sox game. Best of luck with today's bets, and enjoy a 17-game Tuesday night slate.